Howdy, netizens. I'm Mr. Poole, and today we're going to go over how to use voice changer software on Linux.
And we're also going to learn how to output to Discord, and it should also work for games and, as you can tell, OBS as well. I'm only going to be covering patching over to Discord today because I feel like that's something everyone can follow along with. And once you have it working properly, choosing the virtual microphone for games and OBS is pretty straightforward. Now, before we get started, there are a few things to note. You're going to need Pipewire for this to work. Basically, Ubuntu and other Ubuntu derivatives such as KDE Neon, which I'm using right now, all use Pulse Audio. But Pipewire is already basically installed and it's super simple to set up. Think of Pipewire as the pro version of Pulse Audio. And if you don't know what Pulse Audio is, well, go Google. I'll provide a link to a guy named Buzz who did a fantastic 3 or 4 minute video on how to install and enable it. So go check that out if you need to. Second, I'm going to be using MorphVOX, which you can see right here, the voice software. And I'll provide a link to them as well. They've got a 4-day free trial, which I'm actually currently using. I only got like a day left. So I had to figure this out in a time crunch because who wants to pay $30? That's how much it costs if you can't get it to work, right? And before you ask, yes, I have tried using VoiceMod. I prefer VoiceMod, but I cannot get it to install on Linux. I've tried with the latest version of Wine, which is version 9, and it doesn't work. There's a free voice changing software if you don't want to spend any money. I'll link to that below as well, called Clownfish. It's more basic than a common Winch's house cat, in my opinion. But you have options. Last but not least, you're going to need QJackCtl, which is this software here. If I minimize, see here, just download that from your Discover store or whatever GNOME uses. And then once you have QJack installed, you're also going to need to create and run a script in order to set up a virtual microphone. And I'll link to the YouTube video of the guy who went over setting up the script that I learned from, because he does an excellent job of explaining that how that script works and what it does specifically. If you want to watch his video, that's cool, but you're not going to need the Pulse audio control software that he goes over, so just learn about the script and dip out. I'll show the script. You can pause the video, write down the 4 lines of code and then save it and move on. So you could follow along with this video, just pause it once or twice till you get what you need, and then keep moving and get everything set up on your end, minus the Pipewire thing. We're not touching that. If you want to use VoiceMod software, don't mind switching to a better version of Pulse Audio and got $30 laying around, let's go. So first thing you're going to do after you have your Pipewire installed and you restarted your system and you ran the command to make sure that you are running Pulse Audio on Pipewire, go and install QJackCtl, open it up, and click on the graph button. When you maximize that, you'll see all these different boxes. Any app that you open that uses any type of audio, such as a web browser, OBS in this case, or MorphVOX, the software, it will populate in this graph box. This is why you need to use Pipewire. The standard basic Pulse Audio doesn't do this. It won't recognize any of this. So open this up, familiarize yourself. I moved all the things that I don't use, like who messes around with MIDIs, right? So I moved all that over off to the side. You shouldn't have a whole lot of things. I would actually open it up with like pretty much nothing open except for maybe a web browser, just so you don't get overwhelmed with all of this stuff. Now that we have this working and we're rocking and rolling, make sure that you can see your microphone and your headset. And don't worry, we'll touch base on this again in a minute. The next thing you need to do is install the virtual mic script, which I've already done. I'll open this up with Kate and show you. It's these 4 lines here. So you need to type this out into a text editor. All of this is just comments. It has no bearing on the code itself whatsoever. So just pactl, which is pulse audio control or something. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 lines of code that you need to write down into a text editor, and then save it as a .sh file. Pause the screen here if you want to read this and write it all out on your system. But yeah, once you got that saved, navigate to it in terminal to wherever you saved it, and then do the // whatever you named it. Mine is virtual mic cable.sh, and hit enter. I've already done that, so I'm not going to do it again. Actually, I got ahead of myself. Once you save the file, right click, go to properties, permissions, and make sure that you have it clicked as is executable, and save. Then run the script. And from there, you should see on your graph these virtual microphone syncs, the virtual microphone as well. There's even a virtual microphone speaker. We're not going to be using that portion. But once you have these populated here in QJack, you're cleared to move on to the next stage, which is downloading and installing MorphVOX. Just wine space MorphVOX.exe setup, whatever it's called, and go through that process. I'm not going to go over that with you because I already have it installed. 1, 2, wine is a whole other thing. So I imagine you know how to use wine at this point. If you don't, go Google is your friend. And once you load it up, you're going to get a pop-up asking for you to install their virtual B mic or whatever. Just click no. You don't need it because we're going to be routing the microphone ourselves, so you don't need their boo-boo. Once you have it set up, you can come over here and click on microphone. For the audio settings, make sure that your microphone is set to your actual microphone. And this part's the important piece. The playback, you need to set that to the virtual microphone sync. Now, you can switch this over to your headset to make sure that you can hear all the different voices and stuff, and they've got a lot of them. So, I mean, it's no voice mod, but there's still plenty of stuff to choose from, which is great. Make sure you have listen checked on, because what we're going to be doing is essentially taking the listen piece of the microphone voice mod software here and routing it through the microphone sync and into the virtual microphone that Discord and other games will use. So now that we have this set up, let me reiterate one more time. Playback needs to be virtual microphone sync, so that way you won't hear yourself talking like you would if you had your headset selected. And it's going to go through this microphone sync, and then we're ready to go to the graph of QJack. And bring that up. So you see the microphone is going into MorphVOX Pro, out of MorphVOX Pro into the microphone sync, and then over here is the virtual microphone that if I go to Discord and bring that over, I have it selected here, and you can also hear me talking. It's picking it up because see the input sensitivity. Here we go. WebRTC voice engine. This is actually Discord right here. So if I bring up this picture, let me jump cut. Okay, here we go. everything else that's inside your graph bar, just kind of move it out of the way. This is the setup. So Quantum Mono, this is my microphone for my headset. Yours is probably going to be different. That's connected to the MorphVOX Pro. The MorphVOX Pro goes out to the virtual microphone sync that I was telling you about. This part is what confused me because I've only been using this QJack software for like not even a day. That these two separate boxes are actually one and the same. This is just the in and this is the out, right? So once you've got the virtual microphone sync in, take the microphone voice sync out into the input mono of the virtual microphone. And then from the virtual microphone out, connect it to the voice engine for Discord. It's actually going to connect over to this automatically when you select it on Discord, right? And same thing if you were to like play, and real quick, if you want, pause this the video to just kind of get this should be the same path for you as well. So you can make sure that yours is lining up. I'll close out of that. Yeah, so if you wanted to play like Baldur's Gate Online with some friends and you wanted to be like a dog or something, you could patch all this through, and then right here at the the virtual microphone, when you select the virtual microphone, as I have here in Discord on the Baldur's Gate game, it will automatically connect over to the Baldur's Gate software or app that you'll see here in the graph, right? And I realize that this also remembers your setup too, which is great. So if you close out of it today and open it up tomorrow, it should all still be the same for like the MorphVOX and all that fun stuff. Anyway, so this is the way we got it set up. And if I test, now I need to make sure that you can hear the microphone from Discord through OBS. So let me pause and jump cut.
Test, 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 test. All
right. Yeah, so it works. Now, I haven't really messed with like the because it sounded kind of choppy, right? I haven't really messed with these voice settings yet. It's probably the sensitivity on Discord as well. So you can play with that and get it cleaned up. I do know that these settings do seem to work for the MorphVOX and to clean it all up. But yeah, that's how you use voice changer software on Linux.
Well done, bitch.